you?
It's empty. My coffee's empty.
That's a big cup.
It's Alaska, Twyla. Huh,
Still a big cup.
duh. Welcome, all of you. I just wanted to tell you thank you so much for those of you who are sending me messages and saying that you're really enjoying these interviews today. I got to tell you, I am too. I love learning about people, and I got to tell you, if you want to change your practice, become curious. Instead of proving yourself right and other people wrong, or thinking that like I just have to be the one that's always teaching and always educating and always doing like outbound, your practice will grow when you instead, two ears, one mouth, when you start listening more. And that's what Twyla and I were just having a conversation about seeking to understand first. So Dr. Twyla, thanks for joining me today, and happy National Women Chiropractors Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. So Twyla is in a suburb of Atlanta. I'm here in Alaska. We always have lots of jokes about how like 60 degrees is freezing for her. And it's like bathing suit. Well, we don't really put on bathing suits, but it's really warm weather for us here in Alaska. Dr. Twyla and I started working together 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is right. Right. Because you know what? This month I think next week marks my 4 years of graduating from chiropractic school. Yeah, next week, I think. Yeah.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, that happened fast. Wow.
Dr. Janice was supposed to have her 30th class reunion from Chiro School this weekend. So very cool. So our conversation today is about seeking to understand first. Why is that so important, Twyla?
I think that's important because especially as a chiropractor, it puts your goals, desires out the way. And when patients come to your practice, they're not coming because of your needs as a doctor. They come in to get their own needs first. So when you get out of the way and really connect with what they want, what their health goals are, and help bring chiropractic into perspective as why they need it, meaning what's the value of chiropractic and how it can connect with their goals, I think that's when you ultimately win, because you're helping them meet their goals.
Awesome. I was thinking about, have you ever had someone complain to you like, oh my gosh, like all they wanted to do was listen to me?
Yeah.
You have?
What? Somebody complaining? All I want to do? You want to? No, I haven't. No, they don't complain. They actually applaud it. Like, oh yeah, not complaining.
Yeah,
no one. Been a long day. It's been a long day. Sorry.
There's lots of people who are like, oh my gosh, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. All they did was talk. They never listened to me.
Yeah.
But what if instead we focused on being the one that listens so intently that individuals are like, oh my gosh, like all Dr. Twyla did was kept asking me questions and wanted to learn more and more and more about me. No one ever thinks that's a bad thing.
People love to talk about themselves.
Yeah. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
Right. You got it. You got
it. That was one of my most favorite sweatshirts I got from my uncle's shop. Enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Right.
What do you think about me? So when we seek to understand first, and as Twyla and I were just talking about on our coaching call, really that's what we do as chiropractors, right? That when we check somebody, we're seeking first to understand, where are you subluxated? Where does your body want me to deliver an adjustment in the place that has the least resistance, so that the body can take that energy from the chiropractic adjustment and put it into the area of the body that needs the most work right then, that needs that energy to raise the vibrational frequency of healing. And we used an example and we used a story that I think really illustrates this point. Do you want to share it?
So Dr. Barbara and I gave an example of, imagine if you're a parent and one of your children is stuck in a car, and on top of that car is a tree, maybe like a mini redwood forestry, and it's on the car. What kind of saw would you use to get that child out of that car? Would you use one that was like battery operated, or one that was like this super duper chainsaw? Now, let's go back a little bit. The chainsaw, I have no interest in chainsaws. I don't care about chainsaws. I don't care if it was $1,000 gazillion. But in that moment, to get my two daughters out the car, I would want the biggest, baddest chainsaw so that my children would survive. I would totally value that chainsaw. So I would use it. And so what we're talking about is we think we don't value a certain thing until we fully understand how it can benefit us and help us accomplish the things we want to do. So in that situation, I value that chainsaw because I value my daughters and I want them to live. So yeah, that's it.
Nice. And when we're talking about seeking to understand, the first story we talked about was your baby's in the house.
Right.
They're crying.
Right.
They're clearly in distress, and you're locked out.
Right. So what you gonna do? You're gonna bust a window wide open. And if that doesn't work, if you can't get that window open, you're gonna look for an opening within the house. That's easier to do. So that's the same thing like the body. We always look for the place that will allow us to deliver the adjustment with the least amount of force.
Nice. I love it. We look and see where is that practice member's innate talking to me to come in and deliver that chiropractic adjustment. And it's just like with our practice members. So our conversation, Twyla and our conversation started today with, what do people really want?
Want to be heard?
What they want is to be heard. They want to be understood. Like, seek to understand first before giving direction. It's the clarification, points of agreement, solution. And just like Dr. Athena and I were talking about, is help me see things through your eyes. And it's not even like, we started with the conversation of, it's not even about your practice members getting more time with you. It's about how efficiently can you get to the root cause of their problem as a chiropractor, their body, but also in that communication. What's the most efficient way for you to get to the point where they feel like they're being heard, where they feel like you're seeking to understand them? That's how we have conversations. That's how we have connections with our practice members, is asking first, like, how can I best serve you? What do you want? And when we look at the story of the chainsaw, I had asked Twyla, I was telling her that my husband got a new Stihl 460 with a huge bar, like ridiculous. I can barely pick the thing up. And guess what? He's got a couple other 460s, but this one, it's got the big bar. And I said to Twyla, I was telling her all about this saw, and I said, would you want that chainsaw? And she was like, no, I have no interest in that chainsaw. It does not, I don't care about that chainsaw at all. And then I gave the example of, what if a tree fell on your car and your sweet baby girls were in that car? Would you want the chainsaw then? She was like, heck yeah, I'm going to use that chainsaw, the biggest one you got, to chop up that tree to get my girls out. And the story and the analogy is about value. That many times we don't value something until we need it. And value is personal. So the conversation was about, when we say people don't value chiropractic care, what we're really saying there is that person doesn't value their health as much as the premium that we place on their health. And Twyla, is that okay? I can't hear you. Can't hear you. So our conversation while she's figuring out the volume was, an individual who and remember, it's not do they value chiropractic care, it's do they value their health. Chiropractic care is how we become healthy, right? So we also misassign value and we say they don't value chiropractic care. Well, that's irrelevant. It's do they value their health? And if all they need their health to do is to get them to a job where they're sitting in a cubicle and then they're going home and they're sitting on the couch all day, they don't really need that much of a tool in the form of their health, right? Now, somebody like Twyla, she's in adjusting practice members all day. She's also an athlete. She and her husband, if you look around, they've got plants everywhere. They have 2 little girls. So this tool called her body has to work well. She really values being healthy because of her lifestyle. Somebody else doesn't need that tool called their health to deliver to the degree that she does. But it doesn't mean that they don't value chiropractic adjustments. It doesn't mean that they don't value health. It just means how they use their health is going to be different. That's why, as it says above Twyla and I, maybe it says below for all of you, we have to seek to understand first. Seek to understand first. So Twyla, when you have a conversation with somebody, what are tools that you use to seek to understand them first? I still can't hear you. So anyone else who's watching, can you pop in the comment section? Is it there? Now I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I hear you. And now my
Okay.
lights just went out.
All right. What was your question? Was what do we
How?
do?
Yeah. What are techniques that you use to seek to understand first?
Well, first thing I do is get my own needs out of the way, because I realize it's not about me. Next thing, I come from a place of really trying to understand where they're coming from and who they are and why they say they need chiropractic care, or more importantly, why they want to get out of pain. Why do you really, what are you trying to accomplish, and what are you willing to give up to accomplish your goals or the things you say you want, and how willing to stay committed. But most importantly, it's really about them, like who they are, what are they about, what do they want, not what I want. So I come from that place. I come from that directive.
And how do you feel as a female chiropractor?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that well? Like what skills as a female do you feel like you bring to the table that makes that conversation easier? Like I can't honestly remember whose interview I was today, but Jillian, that by our very nature, by the very
Right.
way in which God formed us together as women,
Intuition.
we're nurturers, right?
Right. So women are natural nurturers. So you know cues, especially and I think that's why sometimes women can connect better. Nothing against men, um, but we can connect better. Just like you said, Dr. Jillian said, is because instinctively we just know how to look at someone and know what's wrong, or to ask the right questions, or to use our God-given intuition to say, hey, what's really going on, or to calm a situation down, because that was in us to be nurturers and to be mothers. So I think we know how to use that skill for our patients to help them heal and to help give them the care they need, because that's what nurturing is. It's simply care.
So let me ask you this. How do you balance caring and nurturing and still have boundaries? The care don't carry. How do
Oh,
you
that's
do
it.
that?
That principle, you took the words right out of my mouth. You weren't supposed to say that. But it's the whole motto of care don't carry. You can care. You can tell people what they need. You can give them the instructions for care based on what they say they want from you as their chiropractor, based on your experience with helping other people in a similar situation get better. And you can lay out the roadmap, and you walk in integrity, so you can just you did the right thing, and you move on. And if they can take that journey or they don't, but at the end of the day, you know you've done the right thing. So that's how you care and don't carry. That's how you nurture and not take all of that in. And there,
Care,
yeah,
don't carry.
right,
And you know, as soon as we carry somebody, it also says, hey, you know what? You don't have to be an active participant in this. I'll
right,
take care of it all.
right. And the only people I'm willing to be like carry it all for is my children until they get to a certain age, and that's and myself, and that's really about it. And you know, and things, and because I'm very spiritual, I'll pray about a lot of things and give it to God. And I know that sounds cliche, but that's just truly what I do, and have faith that He'll take care of it, and I'll move on. So it's really a matter of faith and just knowing you're not in control anyway. You're not in control of the healing. You just remove the interference for the body so the body can heal itself, which is what it was designed to do anyway. It has its own innate intelligence. So you just remove the interference. That's what the adjustment does. That's remove the subluxation so the body can receive the right signals from the brain through the nerves so the body can work. And you move out the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that anyway. So we do that technical skill with our hands and with our bodies to that physical body. We have to take that here. And so we can care and not carry, remove the subluxation and go on. So.
And it's so much easier when we're doing it in partnership.
Right.
I mean, like anything else, as spouses, when you parent together, when you earn an income together, when you do household chores together,
Right.
you know, that teamwork, that togetherness, just like I'll help carry your load, you help carry mine.
Right.
And when we work with the body and we ask it, what do you need? It'll do its job.
Right.
We just have to find the blocks and obviously remove them as chiropractors.
Right.
So Twyla, one of the questions I'm asking all of my guests today is,
okay,
what's your favorite mantra? Like when throughout COVID, what's something that you have continuously repeated to yourself when you have felt stressed or out of control, or just the array of emotions that have come from COVID?
You're the vessel.
What's that mean?
You're the vessel. Simply, you're the vessel. You're here to be the light, to be the beacon. You're here to show people what health and what wellness looks like. When people need to feel better, you need to be present and be the vessel. So that's just what kept me going through COVID, because COVID was interesting, especially April when things were really shut down. But you still had to get up and go in. You still had to stand strong because people needed help. All the essential healthcare workers were still going to work. People who were delivering packages, people who were nurses and pharmacists who were taking in more of the burden of maybe sometimes because their coworkers couldn't be there. They needed help. They needed relief. They weren't feeling well. So to say, okay, I'm just a vessel to help people through, not only through COVID, but just through life. So that's what kept me going. And I consider that a blessing and an honor. It's not to be like, oh, I'm the vessel. No. It's totally an honor and a privilege to be that. So that's what kept me going. It's an assignment.
And to remember, I think, as the vessel too, you kept telling yourself, I'm part of the solution.
Right.
I'm just not a bystander, because, and I think that's some of where the people who I saw step in and take leadership and do what they could to be part of the solution actually had less stress than those on the sideline who were just watching. Right. Like, be in charge. I remember always, and I know you were an athlete in college, and as a softball player, when the game was on the line, I'm like, give it to me.
Right.
Give it to me. I don't want it to go anywhere else. Give it to me. I'll carry it across. Right. Like I'll get this done. And it's the same thing here, is engage. And for those of you who maybe this was really, really tough, like I I get it. It all hit us in a different ways and
Right,
at different times. And sometimes it was like that gift that kept on giving, right? Like
right.
I had Meltdown Monday a few weeks ago.
Everybody did. Me too.
Yeah, Meltdown Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, sometimes
Every
it was
day.
tough. And I just want to encourage all of you that if you've done retreat, please get well so you get back in the game.
Right.
Like it's fine to take a break. It's fine to step away, but we need you back. Like
Right.
we've been in there with like it's time for us to be able to get a break. So
Right.
please get rejuvenated, get going again. Your practice being successful, this world needs it. And
Right.
in a way that I have designed to help everyone, if you look down below, there's a link. And what that link is it's an action plan. It's not massive. It's one action step per day that gets delivered to you via email. It's free. There's no strings attached. None of the tasks are longer than 7 minutes, but
Do it.
it's my way of saying, please get engaged and let me help you. And all I want you to do is I don't want you to focus on tomorrow. When you get that email, get that one done today.
Right.
And then tomorrow when you get it, just that one. And pretty soon you're going to find that your steps are faster and you're gaining momentum. So Twyla, as we wrap up this National Women Chiropractors Day, what would you like to say to those who are watching us as a way to encourage them and to shout out some sister love?
First thing is follow Dr. Barb. She has a lot of wisdom. For real. I'm giving a plug. Follow Dr. Barb. She gives a lot of wisdom. She can, I guess as an athlete, I always knew I needed a coach because I've been an athlete just majority of my time growing up. So I knew I needed a coach, but I needed a coach who I could relate to and get results. So follow her. Take advantage of what she's offering you with the daily email. Do what she says. Learn the mindset of her. I like to give a shout out to a lot of my Chiro sisters, Sam Arch Howard, Na Crump, Isla Rose, Dr. Barb. The list is a plethora. Shaterica Hall, Kadria Scott, Angelique Jackson, Angelique Prather, Melody Black. Who else? A lot of people.
Yeah.
I miss some people. Charge it to my head, not my heart. I love you. As women chiropractors, we rock. We have a special skill. Do not sleep on it and go out and change the world. Remember your why. Remember why you became a chiropractor. And if you didn't discover it in school, know that you can change people's lives. And as a woman, we can make children and make life. And then as a woman chiropractor on top of that, we can impact lives too and change not only a person's life, but their family's life, because that's what it's really about. And so I encourage you all to just really stay in your why, stay focused, stay plugged in, reach out for help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I don't know why. And if you are a spiritual person, pray. It's okay to ask God for help. He will help you. And know that you're loved and continue to walk in love. And everything good will come to you. You just have to believe it and have the right mindset for it. So I could go on and keep preaching, but I won't.
That's awesome. That's super awesome.
So, but thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it, especially on National Chiropractic Day, Women's Day. So
yeah, thank you so much. Well, with that, like she took all the words that I was going to use and just want to tell you all, love and appreciate you, Twyla. Thank you so much. It's been such a fun journey. I appreciate your time today. And
you too.
Thanks for being my friend too. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thanks for being my friend as well.
See you, everyone. Have a great day. All right, bye.